video, I want to do 4 progressions from Sochin in relation to anti-grappling. We'll start with the first one where if we get gripped with one hand, then 2 with a double lapel grab, and then we'll look at 2 options of dealing with that if our initial option doesn't work. So if I just wear Mike just to start with here, the first thing we're going to look at is the attack. So if Mike just steps back and does like a Gina Bride, you get this like overly formalized position, and the distance between me and Mike now, there's a big distance there which you don't get in reality. And then the second thing is, as well as the inflating the distances, they conflate the situation we're in. So again, we've got this formally trained karate kind of attack when we really should be dealing with non-consensual violence. So a more practical and useful thing to use against it if Mike gives me a grip here. And again, we've got to be careful again not to conflate this with sparring and grappling. So, I'm not here now trying to work around this grip and trying to play around and see how I can get Mike to the ground. I'm thinking, how can I disengage and keep myself safe? So we're going to use the 2 straight shutos we see in Sochin to start this here. So Mike's got a nice grip on there. He's probably thinking of trying to hit me with this hand, and I've got to try and cover and try and deal with this arm in a second. So we're going to strip all that down just to focus on dealing with this arm. We're going to use the shuto, which comes in a back stance. You can do a nice short back stance or a long back stance depending on your style. It doesn't matter. What we need to do is get our weight moving back. So for me, I move back and down, and you can see, because the way Mike's set up really nice for demonstration, you can see what that does to his body. His arm is now nice and straight because I've twisted as well. Then all I'm going to do is I'm going to use my second hand, so not my striking hand, my other hand, just to drop into his arm there. Again, that turns, helps with our balance break, and then I can strike into the neck. So if I just do that a little bit more smoothly from there, so as he hits, I drop in and I strike. Now once we get to this position, we can do what I like to call the video game button smash. So once I've hit once, I can carry on hitting with that. That's one option. The other option is, once you hit once, you can move on to your natural strikes to escape. Okay? So that's just the application for the shuto found in Sochin. And if I can just bring Mike back in for stage 2 then. So stage 1, the grip was made, we managed to drop in, and we managed to strike and then escape from here. Now, what can happen is once that first grip's on, especially in the chaos, you might get that second grip. Now, if that happens, trying to drop back on one side and hit an arm, it starts to get difficult and his arms start to move further away. So we just need to change the tactics. So if you let go for a second, we're then going to move on to here, this kind of motion which we see where we step off, we have one arm across and one arm going up. So as Mike grabs here, instead of moving back now, I'm going to drive my arm across both of Mike's arms to bend, whichever one works, and hit the neck as I move forward. I might even move my head slightly to the side to stop the headbutt collision. So as he grabs there, if I feel I'm going to get a big hit here and his head starts to come forward, I might move slightly to the side. But it's the idea of moving forward, pushing down, attacking both arms and hitting the neck. We'll show you that from the other side. Okay? And a good way to practice this is to have your enemy grab you with one hand first, and then reach over with the other one and grab with that one too. Because that's usually how they're going to do it. People don't usually grab with both hands together. So you get used to the idea that I failed with one, both are on there. So what I need to do is drive my one arm onto both arms, slide in, hit the side of the neck. And again, we've got these big target areas to hit, and we've got big weapons to hit with. I can hit my forearm. If he's really close, I've got my elbow. A bit further away, I've got my hand. But all this into all that side of the neck there. Now the next move of the kata is you have these front kicks. These are great here. Once I've hit up there, I've got my elbows, my palm strike, and I've also got smashes into his knees and his shins. That should hopefully move him away, so again we can move back to those natural strikes we had at the start. Okay, I'm just going to bring Mike back in now for stage 3. So we're just going to do an add-on to the last one if we don't get that distance to finish with our strike. So if we just remember, we had one hand goes on first. So one hand, and I've tried to hit and strike. Maybe this is working or it's not, and I didn't get a chance to, and the other hand comes on. Now from here, moving to one side is going to be a bit difficult, so I'm going to drive in with one hand, strike into the head. Again, I got my kicks, take his balance off, I've got my hits. If I get that distance and these disengage, then I'm free to go. If they don't, this is this next stage here. So as the grip's on, I've hit, I've strike, I've kicked, but it's still on there. And now he's getting a little bit closer, and I'm struggling to get some solid shots in. So I need to change my tactic. I can't get away, so I'm going to get nice and close. And the move we're going to use from the kata to this is after those kicks, where the Sochin stance is pushed forward, but we still got some weight on the back leg, and both hands out with those elbows down. So as Mike's there, I drive in, I strike, I'm getting those kicks in, I'm trying to disengage, I can't. So all I'm going to do from here is I'm going to use my backhand, we'll show you on the other side in a second, just to come underneath and try to get around the back of the shoulder there. And this hand then is going to come on top, my elbow nice and low, and I'm going to push down here. Now, I don't know if you can see this, but Mike stands in a really vulnerable position here. I'm twisting his shoulder and twisting his wrist. In a second, he's going to let go for safety, but that's the position I want. I drive in, I hit, I'm kicking, I'm trying to get my shots on, I can't because we're too close. I sneak one hand underneath, one hand up, keep my elbow nice and tight and down. I got that pressure there. Again, I got my stance in, I got a strong grip, I push my head in, and I keep myself in position. I've got a twist here, so I'm strong, Mike isn't. So once we get to this clinching position and we've closed the distance, we can do a throw to finish off. So in the kata, it's sometimes seen like that move there. So if I bring Mike in, and we'll start from here. I hit, I'm striking, I'm kicking, I'm trying to get free, I can't. So then I come up, and I get my position on here. From here, all I'm going to do once I've got Mike's balance, if you just move slightly across, this is just so we can be back on the camera here. I'm going to step in, pull him across. I've got a nice tight shoulder here, up there. Got a big pull here, lift up, and drop down. Again, if you've got match, you can practice this a lot faster. Once you're here, I've got this hand down here, which I'm going to start to pull up, and then strike down there for my finish. Practically, I prefer to move away and kick, but the kata shows a lift up and a strike. So we'll go through that one more time. So he starts with one hand, I'm trying to hit, he gets the other hand on. It's not working, I drive in a strike, I'm kicking, I'm trying to get my hits to disengage, I can't. I come up, I get my position, from there, up, throw, and strike. And we'll do stage 4. So we've looked at one grip and how to deal with this one. We looked at when both of them are on, we want to hit, strike, the flee. Then we've looked at what happens when we can't do that and we go for the grips and the takedowns. And this final one we're going to look at is when I get to this position here and I'm kicking, I can't break free of these grips, I can't get the hits on because he's too close. I also haven't got the ability to get into the clinch. So I need another way of dealing with this. All I'm going to do now is pop both my fingers into his eyes and wrench his head back like this. And what that should do is make Mike think about that and grab my hands. Okay? Now it's important to make sure when you practice this, we're not practicing it like this. So if Mike just grabs my hands from here, this is quite an aggressive grab, and I'm on the defense here. This isn't what I'm after. What I'm after, if you let go, he's been gripped on. This is the offense from Mikey. I'm smashing in, I'm striking, I'm trying to get my shots and I can't because he's got too close. I'm trying to get a clinching on, I can't. So now I'm attacking Mike and he's reacting to this. Okay? That's brilliant, that's what it should look like. So there should be a difference between this here and what we had earlier where the enemy sees in you, because what we're about to do is we're going to struggle to pull off with this position. And what we're going to do is we're going to use the next sequence in the kata, which is the Sochin dachi, 45 degrees with the uke, and then the punch which steps forward. So again, as the grip's on, I smash in, I'm striking, I'm kicking, I'm trying to get my shots in, he's too close, I'm trying to clinch, I can't. I've got to resort, so I go to the eyes and he grabs. What I want to do from here now is slide 45 degrees, and with the hand on this side, I'm going to move underneath and pull across. I want to keep this hand up and turn, because if I drop it, these hands are going to come back and start hitting me. So this is why the shuto-uke is up. Once I've got here, I'm going to grip wherever I can, and this anchors me to Mike. So when Mike or your enemy starts to move around, so if Mike moves around a second, and moves, I know where he is, and I can keep my position, and when I want to, I can step in and strike, okay? So he grabs, smash, I'm hitting, I'm trying to break free, I'm trying to clinch. I can't do any of them. I go for his eyes, he breaks, pull across. And again, once I get from there, in and smash. I'm going to show you down the other side. So I go for the eyes and he grabs. From there, sneak underneath, 45 degrees. You've got to pull this back to your hip. Not because you need your hand on the hip, because it's a good place to imagine where you've got to rip the hand from. Fine. So if you only get to there, that's fine. Make the grip, anchor myself to my enemy he is going to be moving around when we start putting resistance in. Smash in and punch. And that's stage 4 of the 4 stages for Sochin's anti-grappling.